Alright, so who's ready for round 2? Yesterday we ruffled one wing full of feathers. Now we're going to do the other one. We are looking at the zombie tier list for Battle for Neighborville. Once again, let's just very quickly go through the terms and conditions. I'm going to be ranking this one the same way that I ranked the plant tier list. That's what a lot of people didn't seem to understand with yesterday's one. Can't tell you the number of times I had someone come at me going, why did you put sunflower in top tier? I literally explained it. Not every character in the game was meant to go out there and drop 50 kills a match. I'm looking at characters, I'm thinking, okay, what do PopCap want you to do with this character, and how good are they at doing that? I'm going to make an exception for one character. I'm making an exception for scientists, but I'll get to that. And of course, remember, this is just my opinion. If it very deeply offends you where I put some of these characters, then feel free to call the Samaritans. They care. Let's get into the tier list. So here it is, the zombie tier list. This is my concoction. So first of all, I don't think any zombies are bottom tier. I don't think anyone in this game is as bad as Chomper. I have got a zombie in low tier though, and that's 80s. Now, I know people are going to come at me on this one straight away because Cam, I thought you said 80s was insane. Yeah, I did. And don't get me wrong, I think 80s is definitely the coolest new character they've added, but he's probably the worst. 80s action hero relies entirely on one ability, Can't Missile. Now, while that wouldn't be so bad, the problem with Can't Missile is it's not the most reliable thing in the world. I've said it before, if Wasteland was a playable map in this game, 80s would be the best character in the game. However, Wasteland isn't playable and there aren't any maps that are just big open fields. Can't Missile gets completely shut down by any kind of cover because the tracking on the missiles doesn't actually account for cover. So if there is so much as a fucking tick blocking the way, the missiles will just hit that instead. His primary isn't good enough because, like I said, the whole point of this character is you hit them with the bow and then you finish them off with Can't Missile. So I feel like it's deliberately been made to not be good enough. Dynamite Dodge is good for getting away from Fung Fu. Honestly, that's the only thing it really is good for. It doesn't do very good damage. The blast radius on it sucks. And Rocket Ride isn't too bad. You can do a bit of work with Rocket Ride. However, a lot of the times I kill 80s, it's when he's using Rocket Ride because it makes him a completely still target for like 4 seconds. So it can be a decent ability. It can get a bit of work done. It leaves you wide open. For me, this character is just way too gimmicky to actually be good. And the gimmick itself isn't even that good. Once again, the mid tier is the same story with plants. These are just characters that I think are fine. They're not bad by any stretch. They're not underpowered, but they're also not overpowered. They just kind of do what they're supposed to do, and it's as simple as that. Slide, I have said, isn't really a character that I play much myself, but she is decent. She can get the job done, but she just, for me, isn't anything special. Pirate, again, it's just the same story with Cactus. This guy's a sniper. He will just sit in the back, pick you off, occasionally send a parrot after you, and that's it. That's kind of what he's supposed to do, and he just fucking does it. And Soldier, I was debating on putting in high tier, but I don't know. I'm not putting Soldier in mid tier because I think Soldier needs to be buffed again. I think Soldier is absolutely fine how he is, but it's just I look at Soldier and then I look at the characters that I've actually put in high tier, and I just feel like, does Soldier really belong in the same tier as these characters? I don't know. Or should I give him the benefit of the doubt? Do you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Soldier's going in high tier. There you go. We're updating it on the fly. So let's move to the high tier. This is actually where I put most of them because honestly, zombies across the board are actually very good. We now have the Soldier, who I've just moved up there. A lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on Imp, but honestly, I stand by this. If you run an Imp with Ripcord and Mech Hunter, he is disgusting. You're getting that first mech very quickly, and if you use Mech Hunter properly, after you use your mech, you're never really having to wait more than a minute to call it in again. So while the Imp himself actually isn't all that bad, Ripcord helps him out. Gravity Nade is still perfectly usable, and his primary, you know, it could be better, but it could be worse. And you basically just get to spam mechs. Seriously, Imp is a good character. Engineer, again, I look at him from a support perspective. And for me, the sole reason he goes in high tier is that fucking turret. It's insanity. It's not like the Bolt Blaster. You don't have to actually sit on it and aim it at people. It's basically just a mechanized Dark Flower. And if you stand next to it, not only does it boost your rate of fire, it gives you fucking infinite ammo. And it's not just for the engineer, it's for the whole team. You've still got the stun grenade, which has been fixed, but it's still a very good ability. It's still a pain in the ass. And he's also got the speed pad, which is basically his get out of jail free card. SB, I know a lot of people were expecting to see this guy in top tier, but for me, the last patch has changed that. They didn't nerf him into the ground, but I think they nerfed him enough. There are still things about him that are just complete horse shit. I still think the splash on Hadouken is way too generous. I think the fact that extra special as an upgrade even exists is just stupid. And if this guy gets within punching range of you, you're fucked. And he still has a shield, but they have toned his projectile down, and I think they have toned it down enough. They nerfed the reach upgrade, which I think definitely needed to happen. And the other thing is the sprinting nerf. And I think SB is one of those characters that the sprinting nerf has actually taken a toll on. Because the nature of how he works as a character, he is very much hit and run. Now the running part, ain't so easy. I also just want to say as well, just to clear up any confusion, the characters that I've actually put in each tier, they're not in order. So it's not like I specifically think that All-Star is better than Soldier or SB is better than Imp or anything like that. I mean, SB probably is better than Imp. I'm trying to say in each tier, the characters aren't in any particular order. Take a swig of coffee. Down the hatch. Oh, woo, that hit me hard. Fucking hell. Shit the bed. Did I forget to stir this? So, I mean, look, if we want to actually rank SB, I'll put him at the top of high tier. I just think the last patch actually has sort of put him in check. And he is still a disgustingly good character, but there are more ways around that now. And then the top tier. I was actually really torn on who I thought the best zombie in this game was. And as it is, I still can't decide between these two. First of all, Space Cadet. I really shouldn't have to explain why Space Cadet is top tier. This character can double jump. She has aimbot. She has the Big Bang Beam, which is not only incredibly accurate, but can also hit well over 100 damage. She has the Space Slam, whatever the fuck it's called, which is alright. And then she has the Space Station. And like I said in the plant tier list, I'm not ranking Cadet and Space Station separately. They are part of the same character, then they get ranked as one character. And Space Station is the single most powerful thing in this game. On its own, it's dangerous. Primary hits pretty good damage. It has a speed boost. It has Crater Maker, which you can get a fucking speed upgrade for. It's very good. But a Space Station with 4 cadets on it is pretty much unbeatable. You get all of that stuff that I just mentioned with the station. You then have 3 additional cadets. Each of them get to use their aimbot primary. Each of them gets a shield, and each of them gets a handjob torpedo. And you've seen what the fuck that thing can do. So for me, Space Cadet as a top tier is a no-brainer. And then Scientist. Probably would have had Scientist in high tier last month, but the sprinting nerf has completely changed that. It's benefited certain characters and it's hindered certain characters. The character that it has benefited the most is Scientist. This is where I make the exception with how I rank the characters. I should be ranking Scientist as a support character. This guy is not a fucking support character. Outside of a loaded space station, Scientist is the best offensive character in the game. His damage output is insane. If you put the precision upgrade on, you can then transfer that damage output to across the fucking map. And the thing I think that makes him more busted than anything else is Warp. We're not even touching on the fact that he can heal himself, and he can also heal and overheal other people. Warp is stupid in this game. You get 3 of them now instead of 2, and you can warp in any direction. And the sprinting nerf doesn't affect it at all. So what it means, one, is no one is going to be able to run away from you. All you have to do is hit them once, slow them down, and you can just warp straight to them. So you cannot escape Scientist. And second of all, you want to talk about a get out of jail free card. Scientist has got 3 fucking warps that you can use in any direction. It doesn't get more free than that. It may be perhaps a little bit of a stretch, and people may not agree with me on this, but at least for me, on an individual basis, Scientist is the best character in this game.